The Seattle Mariners' top 2 targets this offseason. Let's talk about it. So an article came out today by Adam Jude from the Seattle Times, basically discussing, kind of giving us a little bit of insight of what the Seattle Mariners are trying to do this offseason. And from the stuff that was going crazy the other day with the Boston Red Sox and the Seattle Mariners, Adam Jude basically shot that down, saying that the Mariners shot down a 1-for-1 offer that would have sent one of Seattle's young starters, Bryce Miller or Brian Wu, to Boston for 24-year-old first baseman Tristan Casas. So I can't lie, I am a little bit glad to hear that the Seattle Mariners shot the idea down of a 1-for-1 trade with Brian Wu or Bryce Miller in order to just get Tristan Casas in return. But there was a name brought up in this article that kind of surprised me because I did not really think the Mariners were in the market to go after and get this player. So in this article, Adam Jude was discussing the concept of trading away Luis Castillo to open up some payroll to go after first baseman Christian Walker. Jude mentions that if they were to trade Luis Castillo, this would essentially boost payroll up to $38 million this offseason. And then he also mentions that in turn, the Seattle Mariners would be able to target 2 of their most coveted hitters in Nico Hoerner and Christian Walker. Now, doing something like this is much easier said than done because Christian Walker is probably looking anywhere from 20 to 25 million AAV on about a 3-year contract. Now, as some of you may know from one of my previous videos where I discussed the idea of the Mariners going out and getting Christian Walker in free agency, I believe Christian Walker would be a fantastic piece to add to this lineup in the 3 or 4 hole. Yes, he is 33 years old, but he's still putting up 26 home runs that he did last season with 84 RBIs, as well as 33 home runs and 103 RBIs the year before. Last year, he still had a 119 WRC plus as well as a 3.0 WAR, so he is still a very good player performing at a very high level. He also only played in 130 games last year. I say only, but only because he did miss out on 32 games last season, which is very unlike him. He did play in 157 the year before and then 160 the year prior. So I am very much in favor of the idea of the Seattle Mariners going out and getting Christian Walker in free agency. Now, the one thing I do have a question about is one tweet that I saw from another Mariners creator, as well as Adam Jude kind of brought up a little bit. So I don't mean my response to this tweet to be mean in any way. It's a genuine question / confusion that I'm having. And this tweet basically said, you're telling me that if the Mariners were willing to spend just $20 million more, they could add Christian Walker and Nico Hoerner to this team without subtracting any significant MLB talent and easily be AL West favorites, and they're just like, nah. As well as the fact that Adam Jude also brought up this allows them to go get their 2 most coveted hitters in Nico Hoerner and Christian Walker. So the first piece of this, which is a lot of people are missing out on, is that Luis Castillo needs to want to be traded somewhere else. Luis Castillo has stated a few times that he loves playing in Seattle and he loves being a part of this absolutely dominant rotation. But the thing that confuses me most about these statements is the idea of not subtracting any big league talent in order to go out and get somebody like Nico Hoerner. The idea of just going out and getting Christian Walker in free agency should absolutely be a possibility without the idea of having to trade away Luis Castillo. But of course, the Mariners are saying they cannot afford to go out and do that, which we all know they can. But my biggest question with this is, in order to get Nico Hoerner, you can't just sign him. You need to make a trade with the Chicago Cubs in order to get Nico Hoerner to even get over to Seattle in the first place. It's not like he's a free agent as well. So this is why this tweet confuses me a little bit, because I believe Nico Hoerner is about to make probably $11 million this next season, as well as Christian Walker, like I said, is about to be on pace for about 20 to 25 million. So you're looking anywhere from about 31 to 36 million in these 2 players. But again, in order to get Nico Hoerner, you need to make a solid trade offer to the Chicago Cubs in order for them to give him over to Seattle in the first place. So realistically, in order to get Nico Hoerner, you're going to have to probably give up major league ready talent, and the Cubs, as we know, are looking for starting pitching. So yes, I see your point here. I definitely agree with the fact that the Seattle Mariners are, of course, being cheap like they usually are, but the concept that you can just go out, add $20 million to the payroll and you go out and get both of these guys without subtracting anyone doesn't really make sense, because you have to obviously give someone decent up to get Nico Hoerner in the first place. But either way, like I said, I am still very surprised with the fact that I saw Adam Jude write the Mariners have had free agent first baseman Christian Walker atop their wish list since the start of the offseason, because I thought the Mariners were very far out of even having a shot at getting Christian Walker this offseason, or being able to afford it, as they say. But this does get me a little bit excited to the fact that Seattle Mariners may have more of a shot, of course, only if they really get rid of Luis Castillo, unfortunately, according to some of this. But they do have a shot to go out and still get some big names like Christian Walker, and I know a lot of you guys are scared about his aging years, but I still think he has a lot left in the tank. And his power does translate perfectly over to T-Mobile. I had showed you guys in the last video that his power numbers still work perfectly fine in T-Mobile, so he will not, if he usually hits 30 home runs, he won't only just have 20 in T-Mobile, but he will translate just fine. So I want to make this video to share some of this news with you guys if you guys have not seen it already, and kind of just give my opinion on some of the things I'm seeing, because like I said, I am a little bit confused on what people are saying. If you just add the amount that Christian Walker is looking for, that's all they do to get a stud in the lineup. And don't get me wrong, if you add Christian Walker to your 3 or 4 hole, this lineup gets a lot more intimidating. But please let me know what you guys think and which one you'd rather have on the team, if not both Nico Hoerner or Christian Walker, and how the Mariners could do it. But otherwise, I hope you guys did enjoy the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.